0727 441733 or 0721 438 629 to learn more about our services and book your event.
Your workout is your health, and your health is your wealth. And when you talk about wealth, we talk about business. And that is why this week we went down to Gateway Mall in Syokimau to understand what it takes to run a workout entity at the next level fitness.
Running a fitness setup, it's one of the most challenging setup, that one I wouldn't lie, because it takes a lot in terms of you've got to be creative every day.
Get this business story Monday, 6:30 p.m.
One minute to the top of the hour East African time. Good afternoon. I hope you're faring on well this particular afternoon. The 18th day of September, the year being 2023. You're just in time for the latest in the world of news here on TV47 to furnish you with what has been taking shape across, within, and even beyond the borders. My name is Mwige William. Welcome to the broadcast. You can always interact with us with our specific social media platforms, that is at TV47 across all social media platforms, and also at my personal handles, that is at Mwige William across all social media platforms. Now, furnishing you with the latest, former leader of Mungiki Group, Maina Njenga, has appeared in Makadara Court today, following allegations of being found in possession of illegal weapons, including Masai rungus and arrows. This comes one day after his family sought answers regarding his disappearance. The judge at the Makadara Court has stated that his verdict will be delivered on December 4th.
Okay, the purpose of the... While they were abducting them, they knew that they were supposed to come before you today to answer to the summons. When they abducted, and I'm using the word abduction because abduction is extrajudicial. I'm not using the word arrest because arrest is constitutional. They blindfolded them, and that forms the basis of this application.
Suffice to say that no one should be treated subjected to inhuman and degrading treatment. And if at the end of the day it is demonstrated that there was such treatment and it impacted on the due process and the trial, this trial, then it will definitely, you will know that it will definitely count towards what kind of decision I will make. Otherwise, for now, let us come for the judgment. We will have the documents. Let's be ready for the hearing. Thank you.
Nataka kuwashukuru sana Wakenya na pia wanaazimio, wazazi wangu ambao walinitetea sana, marafiki zangu, kwa sababu walifanya juhudi kubwa sana kupiga makelele wakati nilipata kushikwa na hawa ambao wanakuwa wakitusumbua kila wakati. Nataka ijulikane ulimwengu kote kwa sababu kwamba wale ambao walitushika hiyo wakati si watu ambao hawajulikani, ni wale watu tumekuwa na wao kwa hii kesi.
Away from that, religious and political leaders have continued to criticize the Supreme Court's decision on LGBTQ, which allowed members to form their own association and unions. Speaking during a donation event at the ACK Diocese of Kapsabet, the leaders said that the Kenyan Constitution outlaws homosexuality and that allowing LGBTQ parties will go against the country's constitution as well as contribute to moral deviation. They added that they will not allow foreign behavior to ruin African values.
Wakati uliona Supreme Court bado wana insist that the LGBTQ must be registered as an NGO. I think the Constitution is very clear that marriage is a man and a wife.
Ati ile mimi kama mimi vile niko ati mama mwingine pale anitongoze ati sasa mimi nikiwa nimesimamia kama chair kule bungeni, hakuna kitu kama hiyo nitaruhusu, ama hata maneno kama hiyo tuongelee kule bungeni yetu.
It is stealing the mind and the heart, telling us a lie is truth. There is no marriage between a man and a man. Let us put it another word, but not marriage.
Through the ruling ya judicial review ya mambo ya LGBTQ, kwa kukubali kwamba hao watu ambao ni lesbians, gays, transgender, intersex and bisexuals waweze kuwa na njia ya kujikutanisha pamoja na kuendeleza na programs yao ya kuuza their ideals. The only refuge we now have is you, the church, to speak out loud and clear as you've always done.
Mimi nafikiri sisi wote kama wabunge, hakuna siku tutaruhusu nchi yetu tuende mrengo huo. Tunataka nchi ambayo inamcha Mungu na nchi ambaye inaona ya kwamba tunafuata vile kanisa inavyotufundisha.
Elsewhere, 6 people died in a house in Fano in Kericho as a tragedy struck Tumoek village in Kipkelion West constituency, leaving its residents in shock as 6 family members met a horrifying end in a midnight blaze. The victims, comprising 3 adult females and 3 young girls, perished in their sleep as their timber house was reduced to ashes. Kapkoen Sub-Location Assistant Chief Ali Segon, lamented the challenging terrain and inaccessible roads which hindered rescue efforts. Dennis Kiprotich, a 30-year-old who lost his mother, and other family members in the inferno said the flames engulfed all corners of the house and they could not withstand the heat.
Moto imeanza na tukakuja kujaribu kusaidia hii familia, lakini haikuwezekana. Tulijaribu hata kufungua mlango, ingawa moto ilikuwa imezidi na hatukufanikiwa. So tukapoteza hao majirani wetu, watu 6 wa familia moja.
Sasa vile hiyo incident imefanyika, tunaweza sema labda watu wengine wangeweza kuokolewa, lakini shida kufika bahali tu incident ilikuwa imetokea, kuna shida ya barabara.
Leo siku ya leo tuna huzuni nyingi sana, kama vile wenyewe mmeshuhudia miili 6 ya familia moja yakitolewa hapa. Tuna baba mwenye amepoteza mke wake, amepoteza watoto wake 3, amepoteza dada yake na amepoteza shemeji yake.
Ikia hapa ama hata kusaidia watu wa sehemu hii ingekuwa ngumu sana, hata kama ingekuwa ni ile kung'ang'ana kujaribu kuwasaidia, haingewezekana. Sababu moja, barabara sehemu hii haipitiki na haifikiki kwa mambo ya magari na kadhalika. Na ya pili, tumepata watu hapa hata labda wangeweza kujaribu kusaidia, ni ile tu ilibidi wapige mayowe, angeweza hata kufikia usaidizi mwingine kupitia mambo ya rununu ama kupiga simu, sababu pia.
Elsewhere today, the bipartisan team also had another session today at the Bomas of Kenya, whereby today they invited stakeholders to give their input in the ongoing conversation of the bipartisan that is being chaired or co-chaired rather by the Azimio and also the Kenya Kwanza team. Let's have a listen to what transpired earlier on at the Bomas of Kenya.
With them, we have many issues that we have convergence on, and a few that we have issues of divergence on. But as you're all aware, this is a negotiation process, a dialogue process, and we have now begun the difficult work of dialoguing and being able to agree on all the issues that are before us. But we have this morning resolved that One, we had invited public memoranda, and we have resolved that we will leave this process open up to this Friday, 22nd of September. That will be the last day that we expect to receive memoranda. Concurrently, this Friday, 22nd of September, we shall be engaging with identified stakeholders, beginning with those who have already submitted their memoranda to be able to appear before this dialogue committee to give an exposition of their memoranda briefly, and we shall allocate each of the invited teams a maximum of 20 minutes to be able to give us an exposition of their memoranda. Among those groups that we'll be inviting this Friday is the Secretariat of the IEBC, the working group on the 2/3 gender rule, the working group as established by the ministry, and the IEBC selection panel as established by statute. We shall be engaging with them beginning this Friday, amongst other groups who the Secretariat we have tasked to invite those groups. Therefore, those stakeholder engagements will strictly be on invitation, as much as it's an open process to members of the public.
I think we resolved to meet on Thursday, midday, to be able to also deal with interim measures. Both sides had a set of interim measures in order to prepare now the way for the actual engagement on Friday, hearing from the stakeholders. And so, Kimani has said there are issues of convergence. We don't want the media to walk out of here saying all agreed, because we all know, for example, there's convergence of the need to reconstitute the IEBC, but the how is not been agreed. So that is an area of convergence, for example. So I agree in principle that, things like those, and we are taking our work, of course, as seriously as can be imagined, and we want the country to know we are with you. Kimani has reiterated that now we'll be actually having open fora. On Friday, the media will be invited.
All right, there you have it from the Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah and Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, who are the co-chairs of the bipartisan team, the National Dialogue Committee, inviting the public for, or rather stakeholders for public participation. And on that note, time for a short commercial break, but do keep it TV47, more news on the other side of the break.
Unaweza kuwa the next winner wa 100,000 shopping voucher.
Changamka, cheza Loto.
Umecheza kama kwa muda gani sasa?
Tuseme for 3 months now.
3 months.
But very consistently.
Very consistent. Umekuwa kucheza na kama how much hivi?
50 bob.
50 bob.
Nikipata 50 bob na naimeka.
Aha. 100k na hii economy itakufanyia nini?
Imenisaidia sana. Nimefanya shopping hapa. Nimenunua ka suitcase na travel soon, so imenisaidia na nimefanya shopping, nimefanya nyumbani pia kidogo.
Ungependa kuambia nini wale wa Kenya ambao wanacheza Loto?
Napenda kuambia si uongo, ni ukweli kabisa. Kwanza haswa sana watu wangu wa Western, ni ukweli. Na nitaendelea kucheza. Kwa hivyo muendelee kucheza, msukufa moyo ati ni uongo, ni ukweli. Nimehakikisha leo ni ukweli kabisa.
Over 18s only. Gaming can be addictive. Play responsibly. This message has been approved by the BCLB.
Changamka, cheza Loto.
Welcome back and thank you for keeping it TV47. Remember, you can always interact with us through our social media platforms at TV47KE across all social media platforms and at my personal handles at Moige William across all social media handles. Let us continue informing you. The national government has initiated repair works on rural villages, roads ahead of the anticipated El Nino rains. Edwin Mugo, the Member of Parliament for Mathioya constituency, stated that the region heavily relies on agriculture and poor roads, especially during the rainy season, can be a hindrance to farmers when they need to transport their produce to markets and cooperatives. The Member of Parliament requested contractors to provide employment opportunities for youth in the area, saying this will help them earn a living.
Launched almost 140 million Kenya shillings worth of roads to be done all over the constituencies. In Kamashari Ward, where we are now, they will also be done in Kiru Ward, and also they will be done in Getuli Ward. And once we do these roads, they are going to help the farmers and the people over here to be able to access the market, and to be able even to access the factories, the coffee factories and the tea factories. As you know, El Nino is coming next month. If we have proper roads and we proper drainage, then this will ease access to the people and to the residents of Mathioya.
Ile kitu ningeomba ni vijana juu serikali inasema ya kwamba kama kazi inafanyika hapa, wenye wako hapa wapewe, na ninajua kwamba vijana watapewa.
Barabara itatusaidia, na ilikuwa na shida sana juu ilikuwa imejengwa kitambo na serikali ilikuwa ya Kibaki. Sasa kupita ilikuwa gumu. Sasa ikatubidi hata tunaenda kushiba na mikono yetu ili tuweze kupita. Mtu akiwa na bodaboda yake ama gari hawezi endea majani ya ng'ombe, chakula ya ng'ombe hawezi igiza. Sasa tumeshukuru kwa mheshimiwa juu amekuja kutusaidia.
Now from Central Region, let us head to Western Region, whereby a family in Isebania border in Migori County is in pain after their 24-year-old kin was allegedly abducted by unknown people. While narrating the event, the family led by Makbul Sharif said that they realized their kin was missing on Saturday morning when he failed to show up at work. According to the family, the teenager left a relative house, a few meters to his house, and went to sleep carrying water, and is alleged to have been abducted by unknown persons after he had entered the compound to his house. The family wants the police, Directorate of Criminal Investigation and Intelligence officers at the Isebania border town to unravel the truth about the alleged abduction and bring the culprits to book.
Sasa kijana alikuwa wakati anatoka kwangu alikuwa amebeba 5 lita hii ya maji. Alikuwa amebeba amejiwekea kutoka kwangu, na alikuwa anavaa jacket, alikuwa anavaa viatu yake ambaye vile mlivyoona iko pale kwa mlango. Kijana kwanza amefika hapa kwa nyumba. Wakati alipofika hapa kwa nyumba ndio hii kitendo ilitokea. Sijui sasa kama hii watu walikuwa wamemongoja hapa ndani ama walitoka nje. Sisi hiyo hatuwezi jua. Lakini kuchukuliwa kijana amefika hapa ndani, ile jacket alikuwa anavaa wakati alikuwa anatoka kwangu iko hapa ndani ya nyumba. Maji iko hapa.
Usiku asubuhi hakuja kazini, na mida ya saa 7 tulikuwa tumekuja lunch, tukuja kumuulizia huyu mama jirani mwenye landlady hapa ambaye sasa hivi anasikia amepelekwa pale kituoni. Alisema kwamba alisikia usiku mayowe na akaogopa kutoka nje, na asubuhi hakukuja kutueleza. Sasa tulivyoona kulingana viatu yake iko pale nje, nyumba imevurugwa na sasa tunashindwa vile walivyomtoa mtu. Kijana amechukuliwa pale nyumbani kwa nyumba pale, vile walivyomchukua tunashindwa hapa walipitia wapi, kwa sababu mlango ulikuwa umefungwa na ni kama walivyomchukua walivyomtoa walifunga mlango.
Now to the coastal region, the first phase of affordable housing units in the Buxton area of Mombasa town has been completed and officially handed over to their owners. This is the first project to be completed under the Affordable Housing Program in collaboration with the county government. Initially, Buxton area had begun to deteriorate and become a slum following the aging of government-owned houses built there many years ago. A one-bedroom house was sold for 2.3 million, while a two-bedroom house was sold for 3.6 million, and a three-bedroom house for 4.7 million shillings. The project investors have emphasized that the houses are not for rent, and no owners will be allowed to own additional houses in the second phase of the project. Kenyans have already started paying 1.5 tax on their income to finance affordable housing projects.
Kwanza tumefurahia sana na kwamba tumekuwa developer wa kwanza Kenya mzima ambaye anafanya na serikali kuu na serikali ya county kufanya nyumba za affordable housing. Hakuna rental kwa sababu hizi nyumba ni watu ku-own.
The buyers are all over from Kenya, right? But most of the majority are from Mombasa. We do a one ID, one homeowner system here in Buxton Point. So whoever has bought in phase 1 cannot buy phase 2.
And I'm so impressed with this place. Manake kila department walioiweka wameiweka according to community yetu ilivyo, watoto kucheza na kama ni Christians wana place yao ya kusoma, Waislamu. You can see a swimming pool which is a very good thing for the community. I'm so impressed. Na iko in the center of Mombasa.
I'm being reminded it is 1.5% that is being taxed on Kenyan income rather. Now moving on, over 500 youth in Kilifi County have benefited from digital education program to help them grab opportunities from the digital space. The project that is spearheaded by Power to Learn project seek to empower youth into the fourth industrial revolution. Kilifi County government becomes the first county in Kenya to partner with the PLP in their quest to train 1 million software developers in Africa. According to the program manager of Chief Growth and Operations, Mrs. Mumbi Ndongo, the selected youth drawn from all the 35 wards in the county will undergo a 4-month training on how to operate and explore the internet for opportunities. Mohamed Almasi, one of the beneficiaries, was positive that the training will help him be digitally empowered and create employment through the internet.
Katika hii program kwa sababu niko tayari kutafuta suluhisho ya masuala ambayo yanatusumbua jamii yangu, especially nikisemea hapo kwa masuala ya climate change. Ndio maana tuki-integrate digital technology inaweza kurahisisha mambo ya climate action.
Tuko na shida employment in Kenya, mostly ime affect my youth sana. So hii program vijana watapata the necessary skills waweze kujitafutia nafasi za ajira katika the digital world.
Visions for Powerland ni kuhakikisha kwamba hii programu yetu inawafikia wale watu ambao hawajiwezi kabisa. Kwa hivyo tuliona hakuna haja ya kuipeleka mahali ambapo watu wengi wako na uwezo, bali tutafute zile sehemu zingine ambazo watu wengi wanataka kupata programs nyingi, opportunities nyingi zinazoweza kuwasaidia kujimudu kimaisha, lakini hawajapata hiyo nafasi.
Kuna mpango wa vijana. Kwanza tunataka vijana wawe wanajihusisha na teknolojia. Na vile biashara nyingi dunia hii leo inafanyika